Did you know there is this particular device called the speed governor or speed limiting devices that are fitted inside the engines, inside the systems of the commercial vehicles that limits its maximum speed. That means once that device is fitted, whichever model that car is, however powerful the engine is, how big or how small that vehicle is, it cannot exceed a particular speed. Say for buses or the school buses, the maximum speed could be 60 kilometers an hour. In the wheels or in the dashboard, in the speedometers, it might show that its maximum speed could go up to 120 kilometers per hour. But once that device is fitted inside, which is invisible from the outside, from the naked eye, but it will limit the performance of that particular vehicle. We humans have our own speed limiting devices installed in here. Those are called the limiting beliefs. We have created this glass ceiling or glass walls around us, or we have installed our own limiting devices inside us, which tells us that, okay, this is my maximum limit. This is what I am supposed to do max in my life. Or we say poor people or we are middle class people, we can have only this much in life. We can go only up to that much in life. These are called the limiting beliefs, which limits our potentials, which limit our riches in the lives. Now, all we have to do is to think deeply and identify those beliefs. And those beliefs are what are keeping us stuck in our lives. So whenever we are thinking that why am I stuck in my life, why I cannot go any further, I might be having the desires to go forward, but then I have these limiting beliefs. I need to identify them and break them. Now the question is, how did we get our limiting beliefs? How did you or I got our own limiting beliefs that we can do only this much and not beyond? In case of commercial vehicles, the limiting devices, the speed limiters or speed governors are an inside job. They are fitted inside. They're inside the system, which is invisible from outside. The same way, our limiting beliefs were created or were handed over to us by our closest people, our parents, our grandparents, our relatives, our friends, or the people we trusted the most, especially in those years, or our teachers when we were growing up. Just imagine how many times someone told you that in our family or in our kind of families or in our society, we can make only this much. We can reach up to only this much. We can do or we could get only this kind of job and not more. We are middle class people. We have to be satisfied with only this much. Or you have to be happy with only what you get. That's what, or that's how the society conditions us. Depending upon my religion, my caste, my language, my area of birth, my color of my skin, or the country I am born in, my nationality, we are all fitted with certain limiting beliefs. And if you want to find them out or identify them clearly, just close your eyes and think. How many times someone told you that don't try to be smart? Do you think you can do this? Even others cannot. How can you? None in your family have ever done this. How can you? So these all are limiting beliefs. Now, in our cases, there are two things that we could do. Number one, we could identify and stop believing in those limits. And number two, we could stop handing over or carrying those forward to our next generation. Being a parent, every time I say, even I cannot do it, how do you think you can? I am handing over one limiting belief over my children. Every time I say or I start something with, even I cannot, it's the same process. Even your father cannot do, how can you? Do you think you are smarter than me? Again, installing one limiting belief into my children. Of course, they are smarter than me. They are the next generation. So, what could we do? We could do these two things. First, in our cases, just stop and think deeply. What kind of limiting beliefs am I having? Now, how do we identify them? Just look at where you are stuck in your life. In case of money, relationship, or in case of your career, in case of your health, wherever you are stuck, it's because of your limiting beliefs. And just try to remember in your childhood, in your formative years, who told you that you can become only that much, you cannot go beyond that. Just think of it, the moment you can identify it is the moment you can break it. You have to start believing in exactly the opposite, or in some empowering beliefs. And in case of our children, whenever we are talking to them, the first thing as parents that we could do, the most important thing, most powerful thing that we could do as parents is not looking at them through the lens of our own limitations. I could not do, that doesn't mean they cannot. I do not understand math, that doesn't mean they cannot. I was a failure in business, that doesn't mean they cannot. So in every cases, whenever, of course, we are trying to do good for them, we are thinking well, or we are wishing well for them, and we are being protective. But protection is limitation as well. So there are these two things to do, two kinds of actions, two agendas to fulfill. Number one, identifying our own limiting beliefs, breaking them, and moving ahead. And two, stopping ourselves and not transferring our own limiting beliefs into our children. That's how we enhance ourselves, our lives, and we enhance the lives of our next generation. So, for videos like this, please remain with me, subscribe to my channel, and if you like it, if you find these videos useful, please share, comment, and let me know what are your thoughts. You like, you tell other people to do, and be with me. Cheers.